Are you starting? No, I told you to wait. What's that supposed to mean? No, I'm here. I told you. I need 2 seconds. Hey, it's me. And today we're going to be talking about one of my personal favorites, Crossfire Trail, which is why I'm wearing this different hat that you don't normally see me wear. It's seen better days. It's kind of squished, but whatever. Crossfire Trail is a movie starring Tom Selleck, but before it was a movie, it was a book by Louis L'Amour. And so now you get 2 for 1, and I am very excited to talk about this. Okay, fine. We are very excited to talk about this. Joining me today is Anne Rodney, who is one of the characters whose name actually didn't change. There are so many changes between this and that. Not enough for people to be like, the book was better, which it always is. But this works. And it happens. It happens when you have to translate something from the written to the visual. Things have to change because there's so much room here for exposition and backstory and different things. And you can't cram all of this into an hour and a half. It just doesn't work. So plots get simplified, things get left out. Not sure why they changed the man's name though. You're right. The names are not the only thing that got changed. Let's just dive right in and start with the plot summary and try to keep up. But it sounds more complicated than it is. But I'm going to try to talk about both at the same time. Charles Rodney and Rafe Caradoc in the book, Covington in the movie. I don't know why they did that. Covington's easier to say, I guess. I don't know. Those two and some other people are shanghaied on this freighter out of San Francisco. And so the book and the movie both open on this boat about a year after they were shanghaied. And Charlie has been trying to get off the boat for a year. He has been trying to get home to his family, to his ranch in Wyoming. He does not want to be there. He crosses the captain just one too many times and basically gets beaten to death. Yeah, I should have told people. This one's kind of violent. It's kind of mature, but it is a Western and it is violent, and that just comes with the territory. Do you get it? Territory. That is funny. Okay, so anyway, Charlie dies on the high seas, but before he does, he tells Rafe, get off this dang boat before you all die, go back to Wyoming, tell my people, look after the ranch, you can have half of it, just take care of Anne. So in the book, Charlie is Anne's father, and in the movie, Anne is Charlie's widow. And in the book, her mother dies, and in the movie, it's her daughter. It sounds more confusing than it is. Just all you need to know is basically Anne is alone, unmarried, living in town, and being courted by Bruce when Rafe shows up. He tells her that Charlie sent him, because he did, because that's what happened. And she's like, no, Charlie's been dead over a year. Right. And he never mentioned a man named Rafe. Yeah, I can see how you would be upset. Because, you've already warned him. It's been a long time. You're courting Bruce now, which, he's just awful. You've moved on. And then here's this guy saying, hey, your husband or father, he's only been dead a few weeks. And, I was his friend and stuff. And, Rafe is kind of in this weird situation because he cannot tell people how he knows these things. He can't be like, oh, yeah, we were on a boat and we mutinied and, we're all fugitives now, and we're, if we get caught, we're going to be killed. He knows what happened, but, if he reveals too much, then he's going to be the one in trouble. Shortly after Rafe arrives, he is on the trail, and he comes across the daughter of Red Cloud, the Sioux chief, and he rescues her from these bad people. It's sort of a one-off thing in the movie. It's just, it sets him up in confrontation against these henchmen and thugs that Bruce is using to control the town or whatever. And in the movie, the Sioux are only there for that one scene. But in the book, they have a much bigger role, in gratitude for his rescue of Red Cloud's daughter. They here, have some ponies. They help them later toward the end when there's a blizzard, and they're just like they're always there in the book. Like you don't always see them, but you know they're like there. And in the movie, they're just like there for that one scene, and that's the end, and you never see them again. And it was just that was kind of weird, but that's fine, whatever. Basically, these bad people are upset that Rafe is trying to kidnap what they've rightfully stolen. And yes, and that is a reference. No, that's not going to be the next topic. Maybe someday. So the bad people later in town, they call, one of them calls Rafe out, and it's like, you know, I got a bone to pick with you and stuff, and there's this showdown, and some people end up dead. All self-defense. Rafe was totally justified. They were trying to kill him. In the movie, you know, that they just kind of move on to the next thing. Like there's this showdown, and that's it. But in the book, there's this whole fake trial, like, and it's one of those, we're going to give you a fair trial and then we'll hang you. Because, like, Bruce needs to get rid of this guy. He's out telling the truth about, like, what happened to Charlie and where he's been and stuff. He's asking a lot of the wrong questions to the wrong people. And it's just making him real, real nervous. Basically, he outsmarts all the bad people by just telling the truth of what actually happened. It was great. There's this whole part where everybody's saying this one guy that was on the roof that was trying to shoot Rafe, who was in the street being shot at by other bad people. They kept saying that he was unarmed, he didn't have a gun, and there was no cause to kill him, and blah, blah, blah. Later, Rafe asks something about, like, well, what happened to that Winchester rifle? Where did it go? You know, the one that everybody says doesn't exist. Where is it now? And then the guy on the stand, it wasn't a Winchester, it was a Henry. And everybody's like, well, I thought you said it didn't exist. So self-defense, case dismissed. And none of this is in the movie. They completely cut that out. In the book, there's this rancher guy that is in cahoots with Bruce. They want Charlie's ranch because Charlie's ranch has oil on it. It's all about money. They killed the man for money, and Bruce is trying to get Anne so that he can have the ranch and stuff. In the movie, they changed that, and the character is not like a rancher in town. He is like this hired assassin from Kansas or somewhere. His name is Bo Dorn. Like, different name, different person, but anyway, he serves the same purpose. So there's one scene in the movie where the four heroes, Rafe, Rock, who's the Irish guy, I love him, the kid, I can't remember his name, and Joe, split up to go find strays in the different canyons or whatever. And the assassin guy is you can see him on the hill, and he's like setting up his shot and stuff. And it keeps cutting back between the four of them. It's just done so well, because it cuts from the sniper to the four people in the different places, and you don't know where he is, and you don't know who he's aiming at. And by the end of that scene, it just broke my heart, because, like, dang, that was a good character, and now he's dead. Just don't get attached to anybody in this movie. That's all I can say. You can really tell when bad acting is it just takes you out of the story. But when it's good, they feel like real people. And Mark Harmon, the NCIS guy, he plays Bruce, and he is just so good at it, because you really, really hate him. Like, he's awful. Yeah, the scene where you and Bruce are having dinner, and it lets him say one of the greatest lines in the whole movie. So you're asking him about, you know, why did that man call out Rafe? Why was there this showdown and stuff? And he says something about it's not delicate. And you say, well, neither am I. And I love that. I love that, because you just have so much fire in you. And he says something, this is the greatest line in the movie. He says something about the hallmark of a charlatan is the ability to fake sincerity. And, like, he should know, right? In conclusion, there's lots of differences between the book and the movie, but they're both great. Take the time, enjoy them. It's a short book. I mean, look how little it is. It took me like a week. Highly recommend the movie. It's only like an hour and a half, and it's perfect example of the Western genre. The movie, it's got just a little bit of everything. Like, there's action and adventure. There's a little bit of suspense. There's some romance, not too much, just enough. Comedy. The cinematography is great. I love when like some of the scenery and the way they drive those horses up out of the valley and stuff. It's beautiful. I love it. So Anne, before we go, how would you rate these? Okay, 9.5 for the book and 12 out of 10 for the movie, and I'm gonna agree with that. No bonus points this time, but cannot say enough. Both great. Both highly recommend. And Tom Selleck does make a fine cowboy, yes. We always like to, at the end of the videos, ask Jacob for his wisdom. So, Jacob, what color are tractors?
Green.
Dad's not going to like that answer. In our house, crops are green and tractors are red, so I'm not sure where he learned that. He must have picked it up from some of his friends. Anyway, that's about it for this video. What we're going to do next month, we're going to talk about Cats Don't Dance, which is an underrated classic. It's a beautiful movie. I love it. I love everything about it. I can't wait to share it with you. You think it's about kitty cats that want to dance in the movies, but it's really about racism in Hollywood, and the villain is just spot on, and it's hilarious, and the music is great, and they just did such a good job with it, and I cannot wait to talk about Cats Don't Dance with you next time we meet. So until then, just keep on keeping on. I love cowboys.